How does this look?
Very natural.
Hello and welcome to our fellow BU Badgers, the CIA man watching my every move through the webcam. I know you're there, Doug! And anyone else who's watching. So no one. I took Dearest Ben's advice, post-cosmic power outage, and started doing some research on the Headless Horseman. And let me tell you, things have gotten pretty interesting. She sees dead people. Stop shitting on everything I love. So, the Horseman himself was the ghost of a Hessian soldier who was decapitated by a cannonball during battle. His body was buried somewhere in New York, but what was left of his noggin stayed behind on the battlefield. On nights that have supernatural significance, he rides from the grave in search of his missing head. There's actually a similar Irish legend, the Dullahan. No? Okay, so it's another headless man, and he rides a horse, and whenever he stops, someone dies. Our guy seems to have a penchant for murdering, too.
I'm listening.
So, a guy was riding home from a party one night when the Horseman appeared. The Horseman chased him down across a covered bridge, and the next day he was nowhere to be found. People found his horse wandering around with no rider, his hat, and a smashed pumpkin. He was never seen again.
Spooky.
Alright! Who took my fidget spinner?
He's here.
You guys!
That's just my RA.
Who the hell was it?
Someone probably stole his fidget spinner.
Was it you?
Why is there some guy out there yelling about fidget spinners?
Those things are a plague upon society.
They're a mind-controlled conspiracy.
I actually agree with both of those statements.
Moving on. So I've been looking into some paranormal events in our area, and let me tell you, we are living in a hotbed of unexplained activity.
She's just a little excited.
And I have notes. Reports of paranormal phenomena don't really start until after the Civil War, but there might have been earlier unexplained events that just weren't reported due to lack of technology and media. The Washington Post was founded in 1877, 12 years after the end of the Civil War. Take note that the only Civil War battle fought in DC took place in this area. Katrina, the map, please. All weird activity that's been reported happening has happened between Fort Baird, Fort Reno, and Battery Kemble. We're right here. Baird University is the epicenter of the Bermuda Triangle of Washington, D.C. Basically, when you hear them talking about draining the swamp on the news, all the weird stuff ends up here.
So, all that death in the Civil War was kind of the start of everything? Talk more about the unexplained phenomena.
I'd be delighted to. There's all kinds of good stuff happening. We're talking anything from bumps in the night to, I shit you not, someone's car appearing on their neighbor's roof. Kids disappearing and showing up a week later with no memory of what happened. Death by mysterious stabbing. Specters in the trees 2 streets north of the Student Union. Creepy Cupid dolls that move around senators' houses in the dead of night. Teenagers playing with a Ouija board that passed out and woke up covered in black sludge.
Guys, this is a Cupid doll.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god! So what does your triangle have to do with the ghost of an angry, decapitated New Yorker?
Well, the Irish legend made me look into other possibly related stories. One in particular caught my eye. Mr. Washington Irving published The Legend of Sleepy Hollow in 1820, and it's an identical premise. His story took place in New York, in the actual town of Sleepy Hollow. Through interviews, I have at least 3 native New Yorkers, including your shitty roommate, Eddie, who heard the hoofbeats outside of New York. The ghost has been seen riding in our area. Each sighting falls within the District Triangle. What I don't understand is why people have seen him around here if the original events took place in New York. He's pretty far from home, I'd say.
Maybe he had a mid-afterlife crisis and is trying to find himself.
I need to research further to figure out the connection.
Well, I mean, it sounds like common American folklore. Fairly mundane.
We'll agree to disagree.
Crap. Yeah, that's my big. I'll help edit later.
Hey, so are you coming to the Goonies screening tonight?
I kind of just want to stay here and research.
Well, I'm glad it piqued your interest.
Thank you. So I was wondering, I was thinking that maybe
shit. I'm sorry. I'm late for a study group. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay, have fun with your hominids. It'll happen eventually. Good evening, friends. Welcome back to Investigations with Iggy. Working title. So, I thought I hit a roadblock, but thanks to the magic of the internet, I've made progress. Now, the incredibly charming and beautiful Katrina thought that I hit a dead end. But it turns out the Headless Horseman most likely wasn't a superstition at all. A helpful viewer pointed me to the original text by Irving. Many believe, as mentioned in the text, that the horseman was a man named Abraham using a disguise to scare his rival Ichabod. So basically the legend really is old American folklore, but it was just superstition until Abraham and Ichabod showed up. The Headless Horseman was an old wives' tale similar to the Irish legend of the Dullahan. Ichabod was terrified of the story, and Abraham decided to dress up like the ghost to scare the pants off of him. It doesn't seem like a good enough reason for what happened to Ichabod, though. Dude straight up vanished. Was he so embarrassed he fled? Even more puzzling is that shortly after the incident, Abraham vanished too. That's according to locals. It's not mentioned at all in Irving's story. Maybe it wasn't superstition after all. What is that rapping at my chamber door?
Co-host has arrived.
Hey.
So, you coming to cake tonight or not?
I can't, I'm really busy.
With our show?
Oh, boo-hoo, it's getting so interesting. Guess what the name of the guy who disappeared was?
Jerry.
Ichabod Crane.
Gesundheit. Wait, are you related to this guy or something?
I have no idea. I was just getting to that part, dear viewers. The Crane family was in New York for several centuries, but eventually they made their way down south. Now the Headless Horseman has come south too. Don't you see why I have to keep investigating this? What if the sightings moved because the Crane family moved? What if my family is somehow tied to this? Maybe I, Iggy Crane, can unravel this mystery.